How are we doing today? Before we get started, I just want to thank the praise team. Sometimes they don't get enough praise here, but they do a wonderful job. Also thank all the people that help out throughout the whole service, cameramen, people in the back in the production. It's a chore to do this job, but we really appreciate all you do, and just want to thank you for all that. So let's get started today. So good morning. My name is John Attardo, and I've been with Lifegate Church for about 19 years now. I just want to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak to you here at the congregation as well as online to people that are listening today. That's pretty awesome here. People from across the world listening, like Pastor Delbert says, we've got so many people that follow us online. It's incredible, including personal people I know in Canada. So that's pretty cool. But I also want to thank Pastor Delbert for giving me this opportunity to speak to you guys today. This is one of the most challenging projects I've ever had to do. In my current position with Verizon, I'm in the outside sales business, and I handle like major accounts, Fortune 500, Fortune 50 companies. And I'm involved with CEOs, COOs, and CFOs of all kinds. And sitting there talking to them and discussing my project, I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm collective, I got a determined voice, and I want to make my point come through clearly, and I do that. And usually the impact of these projects with these C-level people could be in the millions of dollars. So it's really, really impactful. But what I'm trying to tell you here is that it doesn't bother me to do this. But when I stand up here and talk to you guys, it takes me right out of my comfort zone, I'm telling you. I've got to work so hard at this, it's incredible. I'm not saying that for you guys to feel sorry for me and use that famous southern term, oh, bless his heart, he's nervous. No reason for that at all. But, and it's not for financial reasons I'm doing this either. I do this out of the goodness of my heart. I love this church. I love everything that goes on in this church. So it has nothing to do with that either. The reason I do this is because this man, Pastor Delbert, and his incredible family brought me in about 19 years ago, or maybe even longer. I'm from Canada, and I married Angela here in Ringgold back in 1998. And we moved up to Canada real quick and came back down here in 2000, and we started here at the church with, doing a lot of things, and listening to his sermons and preaching his sermons and trying to apply it into my life. Back in Canada, going to a regular church that I went to was very, very mundane. Like, it's very quiet. You can hear pins drop. Here, it's totally different, of course. You can't even hear yourself think sometimes with the loud music. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And I'll explain why that's a good thing in this message too, which is pretty cool. But he taught me how to apply the Bible to my life and to my family's life. And that's a big thing because where I am today is because of that, and only because of that. There's no way that I could do this on my own. There's no way. The things that have happened in my life are just, we could sit down and talk about it somewhere else, but it's been incredible. It's a great journey, a challenging journey, a journey that all the elders here know about, all the senior people know about, because anything I do, I always use them as a resource to make sure that I'm guiding myself in the right direction that God wants me to guide myself and my family. So the point here is, why would I take this type of opportunity and do this if it's going to drive me crazy, drive my family crazy, take me out of my normal comfort zone, that box we call, that, we love it. We know we go to work, we sit in that little cubicle, we do our thing, we leave, we come home at 5, we watch whatever on TV, we go to bed, and we do this whole thing for 5 days. Why would I do this? Why would I do this? The reason why people do this is because, you've got a pier of life that you walk, and it's a cool pier. And what you do here is that you walk down this life. You're born, you start walking, and you start doing a lot of cool things. And if you don't step out of that box, you won't realize what you're missing as far as opportunity. And we'll get a little deeper into that as we get into the sermon. But the point here is, why would I meander down my walk or my pier in life if, I didn't take a chance like this, if I didn't take this opportunity and try and seize it and try and maximize it? That's the reason why I took this challenge on, for that reason. And we'll discuss, what we're going to talk about. But today's message is, why are you meandering down your pier of life? Or why are you meandering down your pier of opportunities? And meandering sort of means, why are you wandering? Like, walking around not knowing what to do. There's no guidance. Even though you've got, in this picture here, you've got this beautiful pier where you've got these wall barriers here to protect you. That's because of the things you've done. We'll discuss that too, possibly through this message here too today. But I want to discuss your Pier of Opportunities today, specifically how you can maximize each to their pinnacle so you can change your life. This is important, and we're going to find out why it's important as we dig a little deeper. So let's get started. So the last time we talked, which is about a year ago, we talked about opportunities, and we discussed that. We talked about how can opportunities cross our path. We sometimes find out, why is this person over here doing it and it's not me? Why is these things happening to him and not me? Well, we discussed that, and we talked about a word called fear, the word fear, which is the emotional change in behavior that brings either a positive or negative aspect in our life, depending on how you look at it. If you look at it in man's way, fear, it's going to put you in a state where you're going to be shivering, you're going to be confused, not knowing what to do, and then you're going to sit there and say, I'm not going to do it. I'm not even going to take this opportunity on because I can't handle it. But if you look at it in God's eyes, the fear will still be there, but you've got the Holy Spirit. That's a key component. You've got the Holy Spirit. And that's what's going to set you apart. Yeah, I'm nervous up here right now, but I know I got the Holy Spirit here talking to me right now saying, don't worry, John, you're going to do all right. You're going to do all right. And that's the same thing here with you. These opportunities that cross our way are going to take us out of our comfort zone, but we need to tackle these opportunities because it's going to put us in a different place for ourselves, our families, our spouses, our significant others. It's key, it's paramount. So, if you bring the Holy Spirit, like I said, and have God-fearing people involved, fear is still in there, but it's manageable to the point that you can maximize this opportunity. So we discussed back last year a few points as to how you can have opportunities cross your paths. There were 5 points that we discussed. One of the points was integrity and honesty. And we discussed this, and I'm just going to briefly talk about it real quick. Integrity and honesty. Here, you need to show off God's word. Integrity is a huge thing, and especially honesty today in today's world. A lot of people forget this and lose this. And if you have this in you, you can go a long way with it. So that's a key point there. The second one is basically be available and humble yourself. Being available. So now you're in this little cubicle at work, and you're doing your thing, and you're doing a great job, but nobody knows who the heck you are. Most large companies, you've got a number, and that's about it. But when projects come up, that's the time to jump out and say, hey, I need to take charge of this. And the key point here is humble. I'll give you an example like a bee. A bee is attracted to a flower because of the prettiness of that flower, the color, the way it looks. And it attracts it, gets the pollen, creates honey, and does all this thing. You could do the same thing as being humble. People will be attracted to you. They'll come to you just like a bee with honey, or a bee to a flower that creates the honey. And you'll be creating this great sense or this great flavor that people say, hey, what's going on with this guy? What's he doing? Just the humbling effect there will create that. And that's a key point there I wanted to mention. I don't think I mentioned it last time. And then the other one is pray. Pray often, and pray often alone and with others. Now, I make sure that I pray every day. I travel to work. It takes me about 15 minutes to work, so I pray in that time. And I usually have my daughter in the car with me, too, and we pray together. So that's a cool thing because she sees already that prayer is important. And the way we pray, too, is important, too, because for her, she's starting out. She's learning how to pray. So this way, if she doesn't get the answers at school or with her mother or grandmother, she knows the next step to go is God, or go to God first, not to another person or another vice. And then, early on, you don't have to worry about this, but later on, as they're teenagers and that, you worry about that. So if you could set this up early, you avoid all those confrontations. One of the other ones is use your resources wisely. And this is an important one, too. Here at church, we structure our message in a way that we have praise and worship at the beginning. Why? That's so important. I think Angie mentioned this a week or two ago when she was on stage or opening up church that day. She mentioned that we get up here and you see them up here dancing and singing. It's not because they're just dancing and singing. What they're doing here is they're revitalizing their spirit. They're revitalizing their soul. They're bringing themselves back to God because of that week of hard work where you've had all these things attack you and you've been told this, you've been told that. Here's a time to get recharged and re-energized. This is a huge resource that we have to take advantage of to help with our opportunity. And this is why we do praise and worship. We do that because we want to make sure that our soul is filled so we can fight that next week. So we can be able to attack and show off God and show the things that we can do so we can get to that next level. That's why we talk about praise and worship as an important thing here, as one of the resources. I'll talk about another resource in a few minutes. And then the other one is choose your friends wisely. That goes without saying. It's important. If you hang around with the right friends, you're going to be guided the right way. And you know this. And this is important too. So just make sure that you choose the right people. In Proverbs 22, 17, 21, it says, listen carefully to my wisdom. Take heart to what I can teach you. You'll treasure its sweetness deep within. You'll give it bold expression in your speech. To make sure your foundation is trust in God, I'm laying it all out right now just for you. I'm giving you 30 sterlings of principles, tested guidelines to live by. Believe me, these are truths that work and will keep you accountable to those who sent you. So basically, like, these points are points that I came about in discovering how to create an opportunity. What they're saying here is there's a lot of things out there that you can seek to help you guide yourself for that opportunity. So then we discussed, and this is last year too, so we discussed how to get that opportunity, how to make that opportunity cross your path. Then we discussed how can we find the right opportunity. And we said if we seek counsel, if we discuss with family, if we pray corporately, if we pray secretly whenever we can, and if we tithe and give alms, we'd be able to find the right opportunity. So the first one here is seek counsel. I do this a lot. I do this in any event that I have that happens in my life, any change at all. I always seek counsel. And the counsel I seek are people that are God-fearing, God-loving people, because they're going to steer you in the right direction. They're going to steer you in the direction that you want to be steered. That's going to change your life for your family and yourself. And you're going to see a lot of things happen too at the same time. So anytime I have a change, an event change in my life or work or family, I always discuss it with somebody or do something like that. And that's a big thing. That's a big thing for that. Then I discuss, of course, with my family. And you got to be careful here too, because like distant family, like family that's not within your four walls, they're probably the most important ones. Outside that, be very careful, because there's some family members it's unfortunate to say that they don't look out for the best of you. They don't want to see you succeed. They rather see you not succeed. So be careful here. And you know who the ones are. You could tell. You've talked to them, and if they've given you good guidance, and you've done you've done what they said, and you've moved up in a spiritual way, and you profited, then you're okay with that person. And then pray corporately. So again, talking about church again. At the end of this sermon, we're going to have our elders and elders' wives and prayer warriors come up and pray for you. That's a huge thing, because you're in this setting right now, and we just did praise and worship, and we just praised, and we got the Spirit inside us. The Spirit is moving here right now, and now we're having this message that we're talking about, and then we have prayer come up. I come up almost every other day. I think Doug's probably sick of seeing me, but I come up for everything and anything. Why? Because I know how important it is. It is key to any success you're going to have. And I don't just do it just to be doing it. There's a lot of things that goes on in my life that I know Doug's going to pray for, not just today. And that's the key with these people. They just don't pray here today. They'll pray all week for you. And they prepare, believe it or not, they prepare today throughout the week past to get ready to listen to your word so they can pray for you. So that's critical. So anything you have, it doesn't matter if it's a little thing or a big thing, it's important to do that. And that's going to help, again, with the opportunity that we're discussing. And then the other one is, I talked about, and I really stressed on this one, I'm not going to go too deep, but I want to make a correction, is tithe and alms. Last time I talked to you about it, I told you, if you didn't have the heart to tithe, don't do it. I was totally wrong here, and I apologize. When I went back and read it, I said, what the heck was I thinking about? Because in my life, I've had times when I had struggled with being humble, but I still tithe. I had times when I struggled with praying, but I still tithe. I had times when my heart wasn't there, but I still tithe. This whole thing about tithe and alms is not just to give here to provide for this. It's to give thanks. It's to say to God that I'm here for you. I'm here because, and these are my first fruits that I want to give you to show you thanks. And I know sometimes it's difficult to understand that, but for me it was when I first came here. I came from a family that hardly ever gave. And now today it's a total reversal. Anytime I look to move up to the next ladder in my job, my first thought is, and it truly is, I'm not joking with you, but my first thought is, man, I'll be able to tithe more now. That's my first thought in my head. And I don't know, If you talked to me about 30 years ago, I would have said, you're crazy. This is not even a thought. But today, because of the messages, over 1,000 messages that I've listened to here at this church, it's changed my heart. It's changed my heart to the point that it's so open to tithing and alms that I don't think twice about it. I never do. It's the first check I make when I get my first check, and I do it with open arms and proudness. So the key here is, even if you're not here in the right frame of mind, please do that, because it's going to get you to that frame of mind. It's going to get you to that point where you're going to tithe vigorously, and you're going to sit back and say, whoa, how did I do this? It's going to happen, and you're going to say, whoa, how did I do this? And 1 Samuel says to obey is better than sacrifice. There's more to that, but that's a key point that we want to look at here. In other words, you got to be obedient here and tithe, because eventually the fruits will come for you. And then one thing is to soften the heart, and then from there, all these other things will transpire. Proverbs 15:15 says, a miserable heart means a miserable life. A cheerful heart fills a day with song. Every time I read this message, I think of my daughter, because she's always singing, she's always chirping, she's always vibrant and full of life. Why is that? Because she's got not a worry in the world. She thinks of everything as great. And that's the way we got to think of it too. And this tithing and alms is a huge thing that provides greatness for ourselves and our family. Like I told you, that was a good example of this. You know, I found it tough, but I gave continuously. I eventually brought my heart back to the right place. So the bottom line here is give no matter where your heart is. It's because giving will change your heart and bring you to the place where blessings and opportunities will occur. So let's refer back to the steps of choosing the right opportunity. So last time we talked, we said, okay, we told you how opportunities could cross your path. So did some opportunities cross your path? And if they did you pick one? And if so, how did it affect your life? Did it change your life? Now, finding the correct opportunity is just the first step. You have to, you're right at that door of opportunity. So what do you do with that opportunity? How do you maximize? So you're in a job, right? And you got this promotion. So it's a whole new, different area that you're going into. What do you do next? How in the world do you get to, how in the world do you make this the best of it? What do you do? Well, you got to get to that next level, you got to do a few things. And the one thing is you got to have a game plan. And this game plan will allow you to make things happen. But before I talk about this game plan, don't you wonder sometimes why these people at the office or at school or wherever you're at sometimes move faster than you to the next opportunity without working a sweat, without even thinking twice? These guys, and you're wondering, how do these guys do it when I've been working my tail off? What have they done? What I've noticed is I always hear I. Well, have they put God into it? Have they made God the first person here? Because a lot of times you hear, I've done all I can do. Well, that's good, but you haven't put the person that you should put in front of you, which is God. And that's what we talked about, those 5 points. There's 5 points to create that opportunity. There's another 5 points to get the right opportunity. Those two things there are putting God first. And that's how you can get the right opportunity and move to the next level. But then with these people that are God-fearing people, they've got a game plan. And this game plan is what we're going to talk about. So you notice sometimes that people advance to the next opportunity with ease without having to work up a sweat. These question statements are answered with 2 words, a game plan. These successful people are determined to have a game plan inside their opportunity, and this game plan is to maximize their opportunities. So what is a game plan, and why is it important? What is the purpose of a game plan? Well, in Proverbs 16:9, we plan the way we want to live, but God makes us able to live it. So basically, this game plan that we do, unless God is not involved, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So talking about praise and worship, talk about coming down for prayer, talking about all these little things add up to making this game plan God's game plan, the game plan that's going to make you succeed and move to the next level. In Joel 2:28-32, it says, and that's just the beginning. After that, I will pour my spirit in every kind of people. Your son will prophesy, also your daughters. Your old men will dream, your young men will see visions, even pour out my spirit on the servants, men and women both. I'll set out wonders in the sky above and signs on the earth below. Blood and fire and billowing smoke. The sun turns black and the moon turns blood red. Before Judgment Day, God, the day of tremendous and awesome, whoever calls, help, God, gets help. On Mount Sinai and in Jerusalem, there will be great rescue, just as God said. Included in the survivors are those that God calls. So a game plan usually has something that you want to accomplish, something that you have a vision towards. It's ultimately a plan that's bringing out the best in you so you could reach the pinnacle of your opportunity. If you look at a couple of people in the Bible, Noah and Moses, they had opportunities that crossed their path. And this is interesting. They capitalized on each of their opportunities, each listened and developed a game plan, and ultimately achieved the pinnacle of their opportunity. Both game plans were strategic, full of detail, and with a timetable. Both game plans would be attainable because God was involved. So what was their opportunity? Noah built the ark, of course. We know about Noah. Noah was a man that was told by God to build this ark because he was going to provide all the living creatures to him so we could protect at least all those for the coming event. So he had a game plan. He built he had a size and length that he wanted to house every living being that God would send him. And he had a game plan for food and for all the creatures. But what if he had said that, I'm not going to do this? What kind of change would that have occurred if he said, I'm not going to do this? I'm going to let that opportunity walk by my pier. I don't need to do that. What would have happened in society today? I never thought of it like that, but that was pretty cool. It came to me. And if we look at Moses, he freed the Jews from slavery. He had a game plan on how to do that, how he's going to do that. What if he bypassed it and said he wasn't going to do that? What would the outcome be? What would the Jews be today? That's another interesting one. But if you want to look at the ultimate one, you look no further than Jesus. His opportunity to open the gates of heaven for all of our souls is the pinnacle of all opportunities. His game plan was very, very strategic, with a timeline and full of detail. It was relevant because he is God. No other man could save the souls of man. Only God could. But all three of these not only achieved their goal, but they achieved the goal of opportunity asked them by God. All three events altered and changed society and the world today. So these opportunities that cross their path, like I was saying, if this opportunity is a really, really good opportunity that's crossing your path, it's not only going to change your life, but it could possibly change societies too at the same time. So all these guys that did this, they changed society at the same time as well, which was pretty cool. And what I'm trying to say here is this. Whatever opportunity that crosses your path is just as important to God as the ones that he gave Moses, he gave Noah, and Jesus, of course. So, that's why it's so important for us to take these opportunities seriously. We just can't sit back and relax and say, it's okay if I don't do that. You just don't know what that opportunity is going to provide for you. That's the key. You've got to make sure that you are thinking about these goals because it could take you to the pinnacle of your opportunity. And this can only be achieved by having God involved. That's the key. That's the key here. So you got to make sure that you do that. So basically, let's go back and rehearse what we just talked about because I've talked a lot here. So we talked about how to get the opportunity. Then we talked about how to find the proper opportunity. We talked about how to bring the opportunities across your path. Then we talked about how getting that opportunity. And then here we're going to talk about now how to maximize that opportunity to the pinnacle. So if you follow the set of rules and follow the set of rules that we just discussed, the 10 points that we just discussed, and apply them to maximize your opportunity, then you will see success. If you follow these rules with these points discussed, success will occur. And then now let's look at these rules here that we talked about, okay? So we talked about, seeking God, tithing, doing all those things there. Now, I want to put together another thing here, which is a 5-point thing that allows you to maximize your goal. And if you look at it, it starts off with specific. But before that, this opportunity, first of all, when you start figuring out what your goal is or what your opportunity is, I want you to make sure that you have someone that you can hold yourself accountable. Because when you're setting up these goals, you want to make sure that someone can help you. And the word accountability could be looked in a good way and a bad way. Accountability is so you are making sure that you're in line with what your goal is. And if you have someone that's a significant other, they can help you with this. So I don't want you guys to attack the person that's got this goal. I want you to help them. I want you to make sure that that person is able to attain his goal. So I want you, when you set this goal, I want you to make sure that you have a person that can help you hold yourself accountable to it. Now, I put a date here too. I put a date of September 20th, 2015, which is today's date, and I gave you a whole year to create this, to make this goal happen. Why I did that? Possibly I may come up here and talk again. If I do, maybe we'll talk about this. But this gives you a whole year to achieve this goal. So if you look at the first one, specific. So we got the opportunity. We want to maximize that opportunity. So the goal inside that opportunity has to be specific. It's got to be well defined. What we mean by that is you can't just say, I just want to get out of debt. Okay, well, how are you going to get out of debt? Well, you got to figure, you got to provide some detail here. This way, the person that's holding you accountable can help you. Possibly they can help you get yourself out of debt too at the same time. So you say, okay, I want to get out of debt. Okay, why do you want to get out of debt? Well, because right now I got X amount of dollars, let's say $10,000 that I want to get rid of debt. And what are you going to do with that money once you get rid of it? Well, maybe I want to tithe more. Maybe I want to put it towards retirement. Okay, now we got a cool goal here that's opening up other goals. So it's well defined now. You've got a goal. You want to get out of debt that's $10,000, and you want to apply this once you've done it. But how are you going to get this $10,000 down? Well, we're going to set up a budget. We're going to start cutting back on food. We're going to not go to restaurants. We're going to cut back on the entertainment stuff that we really don't need, and we're going to do this. So that's now a well-defined goal. So being specific here, you've defined what your goal is. Now, the key here too is that you want to make sure that you take the initiative here all the time. Okay, you don't want to just get people to help you and you sit back and let them do it for you. You got to take the initiative here. You got to be the one. You can't just sit in the rocking chair and say, "Yeah, I want to get out of debt." Well, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to start reading books on how to get out of debt? What are you going to do? Well, take that initiative. Take that plunge. Get out of that box. Get going. And you can see it can happen. The second point here is measurable. What I wrote down here is set dates and times on the amount throughout the year so you can measure the degree of your success, and also give yourself a pat on the back when you hit those goals. Because as humans, we need that. We really need that. And to achieve that, that's why you set that goal at the beginning of 1 year. Now, when I talk about measurable, you've got 12 months in the year. So I would set up 12 little individual goals in there too to achieve that goal. And it keeps you in line too. So this way, if you see month 1 that you're not achieving that goal, you go to month 2, 3, and 4 and try and alter it if you have to alter it. That's number 2, measurable. Number 3, attainability or attainable. Make sure that it's possible to achieve your goal. So now, if you say you want to get out of debt and you just lost your job, it's going to be a little tough to do that. So, make sure the goal is attainable for you, because as humans, again, if we don't see us achieving that goal, we're just going to drop it and let it walk by our side. So we got to make sure it's attainable. And the accountability part's going to help you too. If you say you want to get out of debt and you're talking to the person that's going to hold you accountable, and say, well, wait a minute, we just lost the job here. How are we supposed to get out of debt? So you'll find the right goal to help that opportunity out. And again, here you don't want to make that attainability very, very easy to get. You still want to have not struggles, but you want to make sure that you can push yourself to the next level. And fear factor here is going to be a factor for you. So make sure that you're able to attain this goal, even though there's going to be some fear in there. The fourth one is relevant. Make sure your goal for this opportunity opens your life and it's more and provides more advances for you. Make sure you can achieve it, so you can not just to make a lateral move, but to make a move up to the next level. That's what we're talking about here. Make it relevant, so it changes your life, and it possibly could change society's life too at the same time. So make sure it's a relevant goal, something that is going to change you. And the last one, time bound. Here, you want to make sure that your goal has a deadline, and we have set up that goal for 1 year. But inside, under measurability, we've got 12 little goals too. So we've got the time here. Why is that important? Well, you've always heard, New Year's Day, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But we never put a time frame upon it. We never put a time on it. We just say we're going to do that. We don't have this system here that we're talking about today where it holds us accountable to lose that weight or to do whatever we want it to do. If you take all these all these 5 points, and just take the first letter of each of the points, it comes up with a word, and the word is SMART. This is the SMART goal template that a lot of businesses use today. And they use it to achieve a lot of things as far as sales go, and we use it a lot too in our company. So you've got this SMART goal template that man's developed, and it gives you the opportunity to get that goal, get that opportunity and maximize it to a point. But then if you apply all the stuff that we talked about last year, today we just briefly talked about it, where could this opportunity go? Could it be a goal that or opportunity that Noah had, or an opportunity that Moses had, or an opportunity that Jesus had, which I don't think we ever achieved that, but say Moses or Noah. It could be. You never know. But you won't know until you take that opportunity and attack it. Attack it this way. If you attack any type of opportunity that crosses your path, you're going to be successful. Not only in business, but in your family, in your marriage, with your children. Like with my daughter, we've already started talking about budget. Why am I doing that at the age of 8? Well, like they say, a habit takes 21 days to manifest. Well, here, if I can just keep on telling her, by the time she's at a job, she's going to understand that I got to put this away for retirement, I got to put this away for the church, for tithe and alms, and I got to put this away for that. If she starts now, she's going to have it made. Most of our struggles are always with money, and it's with mine too. We all have that. It's just because we were never taught it properly. But if we start early in life and try and attain that, who knows where we could get. And this is what this SMART goal does, this SMART goal template does. And I've given you a sheet, an extra sheet there, which you can take home with you. This way you can work with it and sit down with your significant other and see if you can set up a goal that's going to be attainable for you, as well as help your family and your life too move on. We all have challenges in life. I got a ton myself. And this thing here, I use it every day. I've got a board in my kitchen that I have for goals that are monthly and weekly. And my wife sees it, and she prays about it. My daughter sees it, she prays about it. My mother-in-law, she takes a picture of it, and she prays every hour over it. And we seem to be achieving these goals on a weekly basis and a monthly basis. Why is that? Because I got prayer warriors here that are praying for me as well as myself. I got the church praying about it too when I come down here. I come up here and praise and worship every Sunday. I'm on a camera, but sometimes I don't hear them because I'm singing out so loud that I'm praising too. Believe it or not, I do that a lot. Probably the back row will probably hear me a lot and screaming out loud, but I have to do that, sorry. But I do all these things to make my goals happen, my opportunities happen. I know how important it is for God to be in every opportunity. If it's not, I would never be here today. Just think of where I was 52 years ago when I was born in a place called Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Born from an immigrant family from Italy. My father speaks good English but can't write it too well. My grandfather and grandparents only spoke Italian. My mother, she speaks English fluently. She's American but has Italian descent. And today I'm here at Lafayette at Lifegate Church preaching to you. Who would have thought that 52 years ago? How would this have happened? It certainly didn't happen because of me. It happened because of God. And the thing is too, we listened. We listened before I got married, and during we got married, we had Delbert's son, Lance. He came down and visited us and said, "Hey, I want to do something with the church, and I want you guys to be involved." I said, "Well, how are we going to do it? We're millions of miles away. We usually call it 3,000 miles away. It's 658 miles away. How are we going to do this thing that you want to do?" He goes, "Well, you got to come down here." I said, "What?" He goes, "You got to come down here." So I remember this one message that Delbert preached, and he said he was in the shower, and he was saying that he saw a person that was in a tie and a shirt doing stuff here in the U.S., and he was referring to me. And this is back in 1998 or 97. If I didn't listen to him, if I didn't seek counsel, where the heck would I have been today? I know I was doing okay in Canada, but today, if you look at where I was there and where I am today, I'm a whole lot better here than I was over there. I'm a whole lot better. And the only reason is because of this church, these people, my humbleness, my soft heart, my ability to see the message that come through this church every day. You come, and she's been to our church in Canada, or our church, the Catholic Church. It's very quiet. It's very mundane. It's boring. It's really boring. I hate to say it, but you can get something out of it. But here, there's not a moment that I'm tired. Being here now for almost 20 years, and when he leaves and goes back, there's another great message every time. Because to me, I can apply every message that he had somewhere, some way in my life and my family's life. I try to, at least. I try to. And that makes your heart turn. It changes you. It gives you the ability to do the things that we just discussed here. And, if Noah didn't do the same thing, or Moses, it didn't change their heart, who knows where we would be today if he didn't build that ark? Who knows where the Jews would be today? Who knows where our souls would be today if Jesus didn't do what he did? That's huge. Think about it that way. When I was writing this up, this came to me like 3 o'clock in the morning. I forget what day, and I said, man, that's pretty cool. Thinking of it that way. So take your opportunities seriously. Please do. It's important. We all have them, and we are all intelligent people. And trust me, I'm not the smartest person here. I'm not smart in mechanics. Even though I work for a wireless company, I'm nowhere near the technical savvy people that I know are around here. You got opportunities that are crossing your path, and you need to seek counsel to get those opportunities to happen. You need to, because it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life for the good. You're going to see so many cool things happen. Because once you take that opportunity, you're going to be in God's favor. That's another thing. You're going to be in God's favor. Once you're in God's favor, I don't know how many opportunities have crossed my path because of that. Like next week, I'm going to not next week, Wednesday, I'm going to Boston to talk with some CEOs from Uniprovident. That's a huge thing. Who knows? I didn't even know I could do this. But I'm able to do this because of the opportunities that have come my way. I didn't tell my wife this, but with these challenges these goals that we set every day in the kitchen. Last month, I was the #1 sales rep in the Carolinas and Tennessee area. Only because, and again, I'm not one to boast here. Only because of the prayers, the prayer warriors, which is my mother, my wife, and my father-in-law, my daughter, and myself, and the people down here that I pray about. This thing came about. And because of that, they're going to write a thing up and do a few things, whatever. But it took I've only been in this position for only a year. A year starts, actually it's not even a year. It'll be a year in October. So that's a cool thing. But who knows if that would have happened if I didn't put that goal up there, didn't pray about it, didn't have my prayer warriors down here praying about it for this to happen. But that's something really cool that's happened. But I just want you to make sure you get this point, please, because it's not that we want to talk about something just to be talking about it. There's a lot of time that's invested in this, not because I want to invest in it, it's because I felt that I had to position this for you, because when you have these opportunities come your way, God's going to look at you a different way. You're going to see things differently too. You're going to say, man, I can do this, I can do that. It's amazing what can be done. So, look at this. If you have any questions about it, you can contact me. Just let me know. I'll give you my email address or my phone number, and we can go through it. But it's pretty simple to use. There's a lot of stuff online too that you can look at to get this to happen. I want to thank you all for this time too. I really do, because, like I said, it takes me out of my box. To do something like this is really difficult, but I love doing it because I know if I can change one person, that means a lot to me, and it means that at least someone had listened. But I know that there'll be probably more than that. And I just thank you for this, and I just wanted to let you know on that. So, praise team, if you want to be coming up for the final song, I want to just pray over you before we do that. Father, I thank you for this day today. I thank you for everything you've given me to allow me to speak to you in front of these great people. I hope that this word today reaches everybody in a way that changes their life, not just to change it for my satisfaction, for their satisfaction, for their life, for their kids, for their families, so they can be prosperous, so they can be the ones that say, hey, these opportunities are coming your way and you're not working up a sweat. What's going on? What are you doing? I want to find out more. I want to know. This is what I want to convey to the people. I want to make sure that they get it. And I just pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. So praise team, you're coming down. Now we're going to have ministry time. So elders, wives, prayer warriors, please come down. There's people that are going to be praying for you. Nothing too small, like I said, is not going to stop them from praying, or nothing too large either. Please come down. Take advantage of this. These people are awesome people. They'll take care of you. I just want to make sure you come down. And also on the sides, we'll have the elements too, if you want to be taking that. So please be coming down. Thank you.